Here's the deal. Where's my camera? Yeah, they move my camera all the time. Dang it. Oh, God. Okay, whatever. You know, someday, like in Dune, we're going to have little lights that float around and cameras that float. Well, I already have one of those, camera that floats around, follows me. Okay, here's the deal. You're with your friend. He's a Filipino friend. He's a good guy. You like him. His name is James. Yeah, that's a good Filipino name. Okay, that's a good Christian name, James. I don't know if they use Jim in Philippines or not, but his name is James, okay? Now, you've known this guy a couple of years. You like him. You respect him. He's a mild-mannered guy. He's a very respectful guy. He's a nice guy. He's a good Filipino. They're not all good. Trust me. Okay. So you're with this guy and you're walking down the street. And you pass a big old building. Let's say you're in Manila. Just for fun. You're in Manila and you're walking down the street with James and you're talking about, I don't know, some sports score or something. Doesn't matter. You're talking, you're having fun. And you see that you're past this building. It's a big old building, like a warehouse, like a small warehouse, okay? And there's a big sign outside and it says, open house, come in. We have free cookies and whatever. You know, lemonade, it doesn't matter. And you're looking at that, and there's a bunch of balloons out in front, and maybe some flowers, I don't know. It looks very, very festive. It looks very inviting. It looks very nice. It looks very respectable, you know, whatever. So you're walking by, and you look at it, and you think, man, cookies? Cookies? Really? You got freaking cookies? No, because we're not really specifically invited to go in there, and we don't know what the hell that's all about. There's no banner out there with a theme on it or anything. Wait, yes there is. There's a little banner. It says Men's Fellowship. And you think, oh, okay, maybe it's a Catholic thing. I don't know, whatever. But you keep on going anyway. You walk a few more feet. A couple of guys run out. And they say, hey, how you doing? Our names are Bob and, Mike. Bob and Mike. We're Bob and Mike. Okay. And we'd like you to come in and join our fellowship. And you're thinking, well, you got cookies, right? You got cookies. And they say, yeah, man, we got cookies. Oh, God, we got cookies. We got so many cookies and lemonade, and we have coffee also, and Red Bull. And okay, that's it for me. I'm in. Red Bull, I'm in. Okay, so we walk on in, and, we shake hands, and I say, hi, Bob, how you doing? My name is Noel, and here's Mike and Bob. How you doing, guys? My name is Noel. I know, whatever. And they're saying, Sir, and these are both Filipino guys. And they're saying, yes, sir, Noel, sir, how you doing? Come on in, sir. And my friend, my friend James, he says, oh, sir, are you sure it's okay if we come in, sir? Sir, it's okay? And Bob and Mike, they're like, yes, sir. Sir, yes. Sir, yes, sir. Sir. And my friend, James, he's like, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. We will go in right now, sir. Okay. Okay. And whatever. I'm not Filipino, clearly. And so, we saunter on in, we go up the little steps and we go into this big warehouse thing. And oh man, there must be 100 guys in there. We look around, there's no women. It's all 100 guys. And I go get some Red Bull and some cookies. And James doesn't really want anything. He just wants to mingle and talk to the guys. So he goes and he shakes hands with all kinds of guys. He talks to them for a minute. And he calls each and every one of them, sir, 5 times. Sir, how are you today? Sir, what are you doing? Sir. Sir, how are you today, sir? Oh, God, it sort of grates on you after a while, but, it's Filipino culture. Okay, it's their culture. It's their culture now. Now, never mind that sir is not a Filipino word. It has never been a Filipino word. It was invented in the UK, Great Britain, UK, in about the 11th or 12th century. I don't know how they ever came up with those three letters, S-I-R. I don't know where would that come from? I don't know how you would ever, randomly just assign those three letters. Anyway, but it was the word was invented to be used as a salutation to knights of the kingdom. Knights, K-N-I-G-H-T-S, knights in armor, knights. And they're very honorable guys, and they fight to protect the women and children of the kingdom, and they put their lives on the line every single day, and they ride Shire horses, and they go out there and they do battle to protect you and your loved ones in the kingdom. And they, knights, they're cool guys. I'd like to be a knight, I would. If I had a lot of money like Gates, I probably would buy the outfit and I used to ride a Shire actually, but I didn't feel like a knight. But I would buy the outfit and a Shire, and I'd clippity clop around. I'd have to have a lance and a sword, something like that. And anyway, who cares? It doesn't matter. The word 11th or 12th century, it was invented by the Scots and or the English, the British, that region, to use exclusively as a salutation to someone to show great respect. Not howdy, man, how you doing? No, Sir Knight. Sir Knight. That's what it's for. That's what it was made for. That's why the word was invented. I don't know how they came up with S-I-R. How would you just randomly string those three letters together? I don't know, but 11th or 12th century, they did weird shit. I don't know how they did that, but anyway, they did that. Okay. The British came to the Philippines. Well, the Spanish came and effed up a lot of stuff, and the British came and effed up a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff from the Spanish and from the British stuck. And the British... Was it the British that dropped off the Catholics here, or was it the Spanish? I'm not sure. Anyway, a whole bunch of Catholics ended up here, and they built about 10 bazillion Catholic churches, and the whole country became essentially Catholic, and that's okay. That's fine. It's up to them. And a lot of the English words got sort of transmuted into the Filipino Tagalog language. Not the language, into the usage of the Filipinos in the Philippines. Okay, one of those words was sir. And I suspect, here's what happened. I think this is what happened. I think, about a week after the first Catholic Church arrived, the Catholic nuns, they're trying to teach the Filipinos English. And the nuns, are very big on formality and stuff like that. And I bet you one nun had a little classroom of 18 kids there, and she said, and by the way, kiddos, when you want to greet someone who is English and obviously of much higher stature than you little peon bastards, you should use the word sir. S-I-R, sir. You should say that every single time. And all the little kiddies are like, well, I don't know, I guess, it looks like it's cool to be English because, or Catholic or whatever, because, you guys got a lot of money and, your horses are better than ours and your wagons are better than ours. And it's pretty cool to be British or Scottish or Great British or, like that. And so we're going to believe every single thing you tell us. And if you say we should greet everybody with the word sir, okie dokie, done deal. We don't care, if it means we're going to be like you, yeah, we're going to do it. Now, we have our own word in Tagalog called Po, P-O, that's a perfectly good salutation. It's a very neutral salutation. It means, hey, you person there, potential friend. Doesn't mean friend, it means potential friend. It means I am a nice person, and hopefully you're a nice person also. Po, Noel. That's what po means, and they use it all the time, and they should. It's a great word. I love it. I probably, when I leave Philippines, which hopefully 6 months or a year I'm out, I got a business thing I got roped into, and now I got to do it. I'm duty bound to do it. I have to do it. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. So that's 6 months or a year. I was supposed to be out of here 6 months or a year ago, but you know, things happen. Southeast Asia, everything speeds along at the speed of frozen molasses, you know. I mean, okay. So anyway, when I go, I'm gonna take the word po with me. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it properly. But the Filipinos are almost replacing the word po with sir. Now they use po amongst themselves. They use sir a lot. Too much? I don't know. You have to answer that for yourself. Do they use the word sir too much? Well, we did a podcast just a little while back. Not a podcast. I used to do podcasts. We did a video, YouTube video, a week or two ago, where we explored the rampant use of the word sir by Filipinos, and we questioned whether or not they really understood what it meant, because it is a word that denotes great respect, not just howdy, hey, how you doing? Hey, po. No, it's not po. It's about 18 and a half levels above po. Po is kind of respectful. It's nice. I like it. It's very fitting. I love po. I like being called po. I love using po. That's the perfect word. Sir is reserved for presidents and knights. That's English. That's what it was for. That's what it was made for. And then it kind of morphed into, you know, all retailers had to use it. Well, okay, whatever. But when you walk into an open house thing where there's cookies and donuts and Red Bull, there's a bunch of guys in there. You don't know what the hell they're up to. You say, hey, Po, how you doing? What's your name? Po. You don't say, sir, oh, I'm so happy to meet you, sir. Okay, you are the knight in shining armor. Oh, you must be the president of some country somewhere, sir. Oh, it drives me crazy. Okay, they are not necessarily a sir. It may turn out that they're a sir if they do cool stuff and you like them and you respect them a lot, like as much as you respect a knight in shining armor. I would say sir to a knight in shining armor, because I know they've had cool training and they've done cool things and they put their life on the line for their country and for their people. That deserves me calling them sir, and I happily do it. No problem, sir knight. I kind of sort of want to go do that somewhere, back to my home country, Scotland. And I don't know if they have knights in Scotland. I think the British ate them all. I'm not sure. But in England, they got knights, I think, still. I don't know if they ride shires. I don't know, but I want to go find one. I want to say, sir, how are you, sir knight? Okay, so when you walk into an open house and a bunch of guys in there, and you're kind of looking at that weird, like, why is this all 100% guys? I don't know. What did we walk into here exactly? Okay, and so your friend, James, he has gone around and he has used sir at the beginning and end of every single sentence that he has uttered to all of these 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 guys that he has met. And he has shown them all great respect in every possible way, including calling them sir again and again and again. Okay, and I'm thinking, you know, I haven't seen a single guy in here who makes me think he might have once been or is now a knight in shining armor. They tell you the truth, you know. It looks like a bunch of greasy expats to me. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to say this to James, because his culture is that everybody must call everybody sir, I guess. All expats are sirs. No, they're not. Quite a few of them, probably 73% of them are worthless assholes. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So anyway, we've spent an hour and a half. We spent 90 minutes in this open house, and the sir thing is getting to me, because I haven't met one guy yet that I'm thinking I want to call sir. I haven't seen a Shire horse anywhere. And these guys just seem kind of greasy and kind of slimy, and you know, they never look you in the eye. They never look you in the eye, make eye contact. They're always looking down, and they're talking kind of whiny, like, you know. And I'm thinking, what the hell? And finally, James gets two or three of them, and he says, by the way, you know, the banner outside, it said, what did it say? It said fellowship meeting or something like that. You know, is this a church social thing? And these guys, they say, oh, no, anything but that. No, we're kind of like 180 degrees, you know, diametrically opposed to anything having to do with any church. And so James says, well, what is it? What are you all doing here? And they say, well, you know, James, this is a halfway house. Halfway house. And James is like, really? For what? You're like on a trek around Philippines, and this means you've made it halfway on foot? Is that what it? And they're like, no, James, no. It's a little different than that. You see, all of us were released from prison a week ago. Every one of us here. And we have to live in this halfway house for some period of time, you know, probably like 6 months or a year. And we're being monitored 24/7, and we have to undergo polygraph test, you know, minimum 3 times a week. Some of the really bad boys, every single day, they have to take a polygraph. And the polygraph examiner, they ask them some really probing questions. And if they fail the polygraph, bam, they're back in a slammer for another 18 years. Okay, and James is like, holy crap. What? That sounds medieval. What in the hell did you guys do? God, it must be heinous. And the guys say, they're kind of shifty, you know, they're shuffling from one foot to another, and they're looking at each other, and finally, one of them realizes that, you know, they can't put this off any longer. They have to spill the beans. And he says, well, you know, James, we got to be upfront with you, you know. And James is like, yeah, sir. Please do, sir. O exalted one, O mighty Savior, my Father, please be upfront, sir. And so the guy says, well, James, you know, there's no easy way to break this to you, but we're all convicted child rapists and killers. We have all raped a whole bunch of children and killed them. And, you know, the prisons got overfull because there are so damn many of us. The prisons got overflowing, and so they made this deal, you know, if we agree to be monitored 24/7 for 6 months or a year or 2 or, you know, 3, whatever, then we can get out of prison. We have to live in this halfway house. And what we do is we have these fellowship meetings every once in a while, you know, like twice a week, James. And, you know, because we want to meet other men to be our friends, And you know, if they want bring their children, well, James, that's okay too. You know, we like children. We like children quite a lot, James. Do you like children, James? What do you think of children there, James? And so in, let's see, how many seconds? 6 seconds. We're out of there. Of course, we scarf up, you know, stuff our pockets with cookies and Red Bulls first, but you know, then we hoof it on out and we continue our walk. And I turned to James after a block, and nobody's dogging us, nobody's following. I turned to James. I say, "Hey, James, you know, we were just in Pedophile Central, and these weren't just everyday, regular old run-of-the-mill, you know, pedophiles. These were child murdering pedophiles. Okay, James, now, I know you don't like that. I know you don't like these guys. I know when they told you that, you just about threw up, and if you would have had a gun, you would have just opened fire and saved society a lot of trouble and you know, got them off the earth. Okay, I know you would have done that, James, and I would have done the same thing. But James, here's the thing that's kind of nagging at me a little bit there, James. We were in there 90 minutes, and you met, how many guys you meet, James? 60? 60 guys? Okay. Every single guy, you used the word sir, probably on average, I don't know, 9 to 11 times. Now, do you understand what the word sir really means, James? And James is like, yeah, of course I do. I'm Filipino, for God's sake. What are you, stupid? And he says it means respect. It's a show of respect. You say, yes, James. It's not just a show of mild respect. It's a show of pretty significant respect. And he's like, yeah, I guess. We use it all the time. We know we're Filipinos. We like to show respect. And I'm like, thank you, James. Thank you. I very much love it that you show respect. That makes me like you as a Filipino. It makes me kind of sort of love the Filipino people. My family in America, my in-law family is 320 to 350 Filipinos, depending on who's counting on what particular day and who's been excommunicated on that day and then accepted back in the next day. And it averaged about 320 to 350 Filipinos in my in-law family in America. And I know Filipinos quite well. Well, no, that's not true. I know American Filipinos quite well. Filipinos are still a little bit of a mystery to me that, you know, okay. But I understand about the sir, and I understand about the respect, and I understand the Filipinos like to show respect, and I love it. I love it, James. Thank you. Thank you, James, for being respectful. And I try to do my very best to be respectful back to you because I respect you, James. You've been a good friend to me. You've helped me out in hard times, in bad times, in sad times. And you work hard. You work as hard as anybody I've ever known in my life. You take good care of your family. By God, I respect you, James. I like you. And I like your friends. And I like your children. And I like your wife. And I like the people you associate with. You're good people. You're good Filipino people. Thank you. And I like the fact that you show respect. But, James, now think about this for 1 minute. Here's the point of this entire long, rambling thing. When we walked into that fellowship meeting, James, you had no idea who in the hell those people were, and I didn't either. And I didn't know if they were good people or bad people. Lots and lots of people on this earth, James, are really stinking bad people. And you won't know it for a while. You're not going to know it well, sometimes you do. Sometimes in the first 11 seconds you know it. But often it takes a lot longer than that, maybe a day or a week or a month or 6 months or a year, James, to get to know somebody's soul and their character and what makes them tick and what's in their heart. Okay. In that interim, Sir James, I ain't going to call them sir. I'm not going to automatically give them respect because I don't know yet if they deserve it. Maybe they do. And when I realize that they do, by God, I'm going to call them sir. And I'm going to show them good respect. But if I don't know what the hell they're made of, I'm not going to give that to them automatically. Sir James, sir, I'm going to wait. I'm going to give it time. It's going to take time for them to prove to me that they're worthy of me giving away my respect. And James is like, no, that's wrong. That's not what the nuns said. The nuns said we had to respect everybody. Everybody is higher than us. Everybody in the world is higher than us. No, we got to say sir. It's in the DNA. It's baked in there. We can't stop it. We can't. No, we have to say sir. We have to. Okay. And I say, okay, James, that's, that's up to you. That's fine. It doesn't change my opinion of you whatsoever. I still love you. Still respect you. I just want you to think about a different perspective on calling everyone you meet sir, because they don't all deserve it. Now, we just came from a meeting where how many percent of those guys deserved your respect? Or mine, for that matter. How many and what percentage of them, James? 1%, 5%, 10%? No, James. 0%. They're all scumbags. They all need to be removed from the earth, sent, flown into the sun on one of Elon's rockets. Just fly them into the sun and save society a lot of damn trouble, James. And James is like, no, you're a moron. No, that's not right. We got to show everybody respect. And then suddenly James unfriends me. We aren't friends anymore. We never talk again because he cannot understand this concept of just waiting a little bit until somebody proves that they are worthy of the gift you want to give them. Give it a little time. Get to know them. Make sure sir is an appropriate word to be used on them. Now this, I alluded in the beginning, I alluded to this video we posted a week or two ago, whatever it was, 3 weeks, I can't remember. And the title of it was, Please Stop Calling Me Sir. It's Annoying. Okay. That's one of, we've got almost 600 videos up here. We have another probably 2,000 audio-only podcasts all around the world. We've only got about 600, coming up on 600 videos on YouTube. That's one of, it was just one of 600, or almost 600. For some reason, that one went berserk with commenters. Now, in the first week of that thing being online, the comments came in, quite a few comments, and 90% of them were like, yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head. We're an expat here in the Philippines. We don't like being called sir either, at least not right off the bat. Not as the very first salutation. It's kind of uncomfortable, it's kind of weird. It makes us feel kind of weird. And so I would answer him and talk to him and say, yeah, well, it's a Filipino culture and, that's what they want to do. And it's up to them. It's their country. It's their culture. They can do whatever they want to do. But, yeah, it makes me feel kind of weird too. That's why I made the video. And they're like, yeah, I don't know how to make them stop it because they think they're doing a good thing. I'm like, yeah, well, they are doing a good thing if they get to know you first. And then they genuinely want to call you sir. Oh, that's great. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine with me. I'll thank them for it. But not before they even frickin' know me, because I might be a pedophile. I might be a bank robber. I might be a horse rapist. I could be anything. I could be any kind of scumbag. And they don't know it. And yet they're showing me pretty serious level of respect before they even know What the hell? What the hell? They don't even know. And they're throwing that respect away like party glitter. Ah, oh, I respect you so much. Oh, here's some respect. You can put it in your hair. More respect, more respect. No. For God's sake, no. No. The first week of comments were normal comments. They were more than I imagined. You know, there was a few hundred. And I answered all of them, I believe. I think no, I didn't. There were a few clinkers in there. There were a few in there from Filipino guys. Oh, you're a moron. You're an idiot. I don't like your other videos either. And I was like, well, then why do you continue watching them? You know, you can tell me all of these details about all my other videos. Clearly, you've watched them. If you hate them all, why are you watching them? And they didn't have an answer for that. So some of those, they got booted from the channel and they got blocked and whatever. The really weird thing about YouTube is that when you block a commenter, they can still comment, but no one will ever see it. Not me, not the other viewers, not anyone. It just goes into a black hole somewhere. And they comment some vile shit, some uneducated, stupid shit that usually has nothing to do with the concept being discussed. They'll comment about that, and it just disappears. You know, they think they can see it. If they log into the channel, they can see it, and they think, oh man, I really showed those people. Yeah, oh my God, I made my opinion known. And they didn't delete that comment, therefore they must agree. I must be right. Oh, geez. I ate some chocolate in it. Chocolate always makes me cough. Little do they suspect, their tiny little brains, they don't grasp that once they're blocked, those comments don't go anywhere. They go into a black hole. Nobody ever sees them. I don't know that there's even a way to retrieve them. I think there might be, I'm not sure. But who cares, you know? So anyway, after the first week of positive comments, and we had like a 91% like rate on that video, which is slightly higher. Our normal like rate is like 89%, I think, maybe 90%. And so that one was getting a like ratio of about 91%, which was higher than normal. And the mix of people was about half Filipinos, half expats. And it was fine. You know, it was a normal thing. A weird thing was that we picked up more subscribers on that one video than any video we've ever posted out of 600 or nearly 600. I don't know why that video compelled so many people to subscribe, but it did. And that's fine. You know, it's up to them. We didn't make this channel to get subscribers. We made it to entertain friends and family. That's all we've ever done. If people want to watch it and they like it, that's fine. They can watch it. If they don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Who cares? I don't care. We're never going to be monetized because we don't try to be monetized. We post only stuff that we like. We don't cater to anybody's taste or anything else. We just make stuff that we enjoy making and we put it on there, and it's up to you. We don't care. Anyway, after the first week, a few commenters came in. They ran about 80% Filipino, about 20% expat. And the tide turned on that thing. And we've seen this before. We used to run the old, ancient BBS bulletin boards before there was an internet. Many years before there was an internet, everybody was on dial-up, and we were called sysops. And we had these bulletin boards that we were essentially our own tiny little microcosm of the internet. And the servers were all located in our homes, and we had complete and total control. And every once in a while, we would see the snowball effect happen. somebody would post some picture or some comment on our BBS server, and someone would take offense to it. And usually it was some dirty, silly, stupid little scumbag of a person. It was a troll with a capital T. And they would denounce that person's comment or picture, whatever it was. And that person, and they would do it in a particularly nasty, vulgar, stupid, backwards, uninformed, uneducated kind of way. They would almost always miss the entire point of the comment. They call, on YouTube, they call them haters. Across the internet, they're called trolls, like in the Facebook groups and things like that, called trolls, whatever. Anyway, so that's what befell that video after the first week. One or two guys came on there and said, "Oh, you're stupid, you're a moron. We want to use the word sir. We like it, and it's our word, and if you don't like it, you should go back to your Scotland, you don't belong here, you're an asshole." And then they apparently went and got all of their little idiot friends and got them to go on and comment just to make themselves look extra cool. Look how many people agree with me. I must be so smart. Okay, so that snowballed. In the old days, we called that flaming. Somebody would go get all of their friends and say, "Hey, yeah, you got to help me flame this guy. I don't like what he said." And when he responded to me, he was rude. He was rude to my rudeness. Oh, that can't stand. And so they would go get all their little 14-year-old pimply-faced friends, and they would come on and they would flame some poor guy or girl, whatever. That very thing is what has all but killed the Facebook groups. People are just tired of that. They're just tired of it. You cannot post anything on anything to do with Facebook anymore without getting flamed. And I've done this as an experiment. We had a line that we used for several years. The line was, I can't remember exactly, it was today the sky appears to be a beautiful blue color. And we would post that in various places, sometimes on our own servers or on Facebook or whatever. And we just sit back to see what the reaction was, to see if we got trolled and harassed and bashed and flamed for that comment. And we pretty much always did. Always. Try it yourself. Some people would come in and they say, "Yeah, thank you. That's a nice thing. I didn't notice the sky today. Yeah, it's really pretty blue." And then the trolls would come in. "No, you're a moron. It's not really truly blue. Or are you blind?" And they would just bash you and flame you and try to knock you down. And that's just the state of the internet these days, and YouTube is no different at all. So we suffered through a week or two of these morons, and we blocked hundreds of these fools, and that's what they are. They're fools. Go back and watch that video. Again, the title was "Please Stop Calling Me Sir. It's Annoying." And maybe I'll put a link to it from this video so you can go watch it if you want to. And I said many times in the video, it's your culture. You can say what you want. I'm just trying to explain to you the proper use of the word sir, and then you can decide if you want to continue using it, or if you want to come up with another salutation, or if you just want to use the word po, which is perfectly fitting in every single context, except maybe in a pedophile fellowship meeting. Maybe po is not even appropriate there. I'm not sure, because po. Yeah. Okay. We'll do a whole other thing on the word po. I like the word po. It's perfect. Please use it. Thank you. But sir is a bridge too far. Anyway, we got tired of dealing with these fools who would come in there. And virtually none of them virtually none, 0% had watched the entire video. Most of them had watched an average of about 1 minute and, what was it, 1 minute and 31 seconds. That's how much they'd watched. And then they decided from that, we got to kill this guy. And actually, we did send 3 of them to the Manila police for bodily threats of death. They got reported to YouTube and also to the Manila police. That's how crazy this flaming got. You're telling us we shouldn't use the word sir. No, you can use it. I just want you to understand what you're saying when you use it. You can use the word cow pie face if you want to. You can go up to everybody on the street and say, hey, how you doing, cow pie face? Up to you. It's your culture. If you want to look like an idiot because you don't understand what a cow pie face is, go for it. Knock yourself out. I could not care less. I want to video it so everybody can get a laugh, but you can misuse any word you want. I simply was trying to educate people a teensy tiny little bit, 1% on the proper usage of the word sir. Oh God, that just set them on fire. They just, oh my God. Never once did they comprehend or grasp that sir is not even their word, doesn't even come from their language. And they don't know how to use it. They can if they want. I don't care. I find it slightly annoying. I think I don't think, I know, according to the sane and rational comments, a lot of people find it annoying. But whatever, it's not annoying in a bad way. It's not insulting. It's just like we're thinking, when we hear a Filipino call us sir, we're thinking, okay, number one, you don't know who we are. We might be murdering child rapists, like the guys in that fellowship meeting. That might be us. So before you use the word sir, find out who we are. Now, number 2, we don't want you to waste your respect on people who do not deserve it. Most of us who are here in the Philippines like the Filipino people. After this flaming of hundreds of comments and threats on that one video, I don't respect the Filipino people like I used to. No. When I came to the Philippines, my respect level for them on a 1 to 10 was about a 7.5. My respect level for Americans is about a 4. Okay. My respect for, well, whatever. Now, after this episode of flaming over a perfectly innocent video where Filipinos came in and trashed it without knowing what it was about, my respect for the Filipino people went down to about a 2.5 on a 1 to 10 scale. So you guys have caused yourselves a gigantic, humongous hit in respect and credibility. Your credibility, in my eyes, has gone from a 7.5 to a 2.5. My respect for you has gone from a 7.5 to a 2.5. I don't know if I'll ever get that back. I don't know, more importantly, if you will ever get that back. People who play chess are rated to some degree on how many moves they can think ahead in the chess game. Really good world-class players they claim they can see ahead about 20 moves. So they make a move, that's one. You make a move. I don't know if they count your move as one of those. I think they do. So that's 2 moves. You make a move. So 10 moves for you, 10 moves for the other player. And they know what the outcome is going to be after 20 moves. because their brains are so massive, you know, and alien-like that they can calculate all these moves ahead of time. I don't believe anybody is calculating 20 moves ahead. You know, a computer can. It's hard for me to believe that a human brain can calculate that many moves ahead. I think the average is more like 7, probably. The realistic average, probably about 7 moves ahead. Okay. I assumed that Filipinos were of that same average intelligence. If they played chess, the average player could see, you know, 5 to 7 moves ahead. After seeing the hundreds of comments that came in bashing that video, and seeing how brainless, seeing how uninformed and brainless those comments were, I'm truly, and the number of them, I'm truly beginning to wonder how far ahead Filipinos can see in a chess game. To see that many stupid people, I've never been flamed in my life like that. I've seen people who have been. It's a mob mentality. It's a blind, mindless mob, and they have decided that somebody is guilty of something. You know, maybe some guy is guilty of eating a dog. I don't know. Let's say, just for example, he found a stray dog. He was really, really hungry, and he ate that dog. Okay, bad thing. You know, maybe he should go to jail. I don't know. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. But a mob, a mindless, brainless, uneducated mob gets a hold of that story, and they decide, now he didn't just eat that dog, he killed and ate an entire village of children. Of course, he didn't do that, and nobody suggested he did that, and he's not charged with doing that, and nobody accuses him of doing that, except this mindless mob. And they just take it to heart. They're like, oh, okay, that's a fact. That's a fact. This guy killed and ate an entire village of children. Therefore, get the pitchforks, get the machetes, get the torches. Let's find him. Let's butcher him, and let's eat him also. You know, because that's what he deserves. You know, because he ate an entire village of children. Okay, that's mob mentality. And in the old West in America, well, every culture, that was really prevalent, and it's way more common today around the world than people realize. Well, when these little flamers get together and go after someone in a BBS or a Facebook group or whatever, that's what they are. They're a mindless, brainless mob. And I'm not sure what they get out of it. You can go Google the word internet, or the phrase internet troll, and the psychiatrists have figured this out pretty well. They pretty much know what makes these people tick. And I've read a few of those, and it's crystal clear. They're just small little people whose lives suck. They are not educated. They cannot see more than one move ahead on the chessboard, even maybe not even that far. But they're angry at their lives, or they're angry at something. They failed in everything they ever did. And they're angry, and they want to step on someone else's head, thinking that will make them taller. That's the essence of what the psychiatrist will tell you if you go Google that phrase, internet troll. Okay, so that's the first video we ever had that was attacked by the internet trolls. Tiny little brainless people. They had no concept of what was being said to them. They had no concept what the argument was. They had no concept what the point we were trying to make was. And they, after, you know, they're going to watch this, and they still won't have any concept of it. The difference is this time comments are turned off. Our channel has reached enough exposure that the comments, even if they were, if every single comment was, oh, I love you, your videos are brilliant, and if every single comment was like that, we still don't have time to read them. We're talking 100 to 300 a day. This is a two-person operation. We're either traveling for weeks at a time, or we have no way to go in there and answer those, or we're making silly cat videos. You know, that's what we do. Or we're sitting in parks feeding cats. That's what we do. We do not have time to sift through 100 to 300 comments per day and cull out the bad ones. Now, except for this one video, our ratio of bad comments was about 6%. That was maybe not even that, but we calculated it one day. It was 6%. 6% of the comments that came in, we didn't want on our channel, and we didn't want those people on our channel. So we'd block them, and they would continue to comment and see their comments on our channel. And they were so happy because they thought everybody was seeing their comments, their dirty, vile little insults and threats. And they got a thrill up the leg every time they saw those comments. Oh God, they were so happy. And they never once, I don't think, understood that they're the only ones who can see those comments. We can't see them. I mean, we never see them. And the other viewers, the decent, intelligent viewers, can't see them. No one can see them. I suppose YouTube probably has some way they could go in there and look at them. I don't know. They would never have any reason to tell us about it. But anyway, so our comments ran at the very worst, 6% of the comments coming in. So that's 6 out of 100 that we just, you know, we didn't want low-class people like that on the channel. Just stupid, ignorant, uneducated, argumentative, mean, vile, threatening, foul people. We don't want them on the channel. Who needs them? So we would call those out. And then we would try very, very hard to respond intelligently to every single comment. Sometimes that was up to 300 a day. Now, part of that was really fun. It was really nice. A very small percentage of those nice comments were also intelligent comments, you know. And we would read them and we'd say, oh, wow, that's a great take on that video. We never thought of that angle. Thank you, really. And we would discuss it back and forth with them for a while. We actually made a few lasting friends from the comments. Never would have guessed that could happen, but it did a number of times. And we would love it if we could continue to only see and respond to the intelligent people. Now, sometimes intelligent people would see one of our videos and they would comment politely and they would say, hey, you know, your videos would be a lot better if you did this. And we were like, whoa, you're right. And we'd reply and say, man, that's a valuable tip. Thank you. And we're going to try to do that. And we did try to do it. We tried to implement the good, productive comments and suggestions that were politely put forth. If somebody comes in and says, hey, asshole, we don't like those headphones you're wearing, those are ugly. That makes you look stupid. You're a moron, and why don't you go back to your own country? Because we don't want people in this country that would ever wear headphones, because you're just an idiot. And if you don't go back to your own country, we're going to find you and we're going to kill your children and your cat, you know. Okay, maybe the point they were trying to make about the headphones was perfectly valid. I don't know. I don't have any feeling about headphones. It helps me in a certain way because I can hear myself in a different way than you hear yourself when you're just speaking. But my voice comes back through the microphone, and I highly recommend it. You know, if you don't like headphones, then use earbuds or whatever. But maybe their point was valid about the headphones. Maybe these are the ugliest headphones in the world. I mean, I don't care. We don't make these videos for the unwashed masses. We make them for friends and family, and we make them because we enjoy making videos. And if John Q. Public of the unwashed masses doesn't like it, we could not possibly give a rat's ass. We do not effing care. The only thing we care about is, do these people waste our time and our energy and our patience? And so I finally got to the point where the number of comments were just going up and up and up and up and up. And it got to the point where we just said, that's enough. After this insane session on that one video, please stop calling me sir. It's annoying. What was the exact title of that? Please stop calling me sir. Or maybe it was just stop calling me sir. I can't remember what I titled that thing. I'll try to put the link to it in the description here. After that fiasco, we were really close to shutting off comments anyway. We had done it in the past for a period of a week or so until we could catch up. And then we did get caught up, and we would turn them back on again. And we went through that a couple of times. And this last time, just enough. It's enough. We researched how much does it hurt your channel if you turn off comments. Well, we don't really care if our channel is hurt, because we still have our loyal, 320 Filipino in-laws and our other families and our other friends and all our old business associates and all that stuff. We still have all those people. So, we don't care if it grows or not. We're not going to do anything to make it grow. We're going to say stuff we want to say. People like it, okay. If they don't like it, there's 127 billion trillion other videos. Go watch them. Really? So we've turned comments off this time, probably forever. The only thing that might change that is if we got really big by some weirdo happenstance, unplanned, accidental thing. If that ever happened, we truly do miss interacting with the intelligent, polite commenters. Man, we miss that. That is great fun. But we only got a dozen a day of those where they would make a valid point, and they did it politely. Or they would raise an angle on something in the video that we had never thought of before. And it's like, wow, you are absolutely right. And we would try to correct that in our description box, and maybe we would make a whole new video from that angle. So those commenters are golden. They're golden to YouTube, and we miss them. So the only thing that might ever convince us to turn comments back on is if we got really, really big, made a really lot of money, and we could afford to pay one of these services who goes through all of your comments, and they know what you want and what you like, and they know what to block, and they just do that. And so you get half a dozen comments a day that are exactly the kind of people you want to associate with, even if they're critical of your site. Some of those are just platinum, really valuable stuff. But the trolls, the dirty little stinky, unshowered, ignorant, uneducated, hating trolls, nah, we don't have time for them, or patience, or why? Why should we open the doors to the insane asylum and let those fools come into our lives? No. You're seeing a growing number of channels on YouTube who are turning off comments. They just have enough. We did a lot of research to see how much it hurt your channel if we turned off comments. Every single big channel that we talked to, they said they cannot tell any difference in growth or traffic by turning off comments. If there is, it's like a percentage of a percentage. It's like 0.2% or something. And the misery that they save themselves from is so great that it's just win-win. Just turn them off. Either turn them off or hire a service who filters them for you. And I would like to do that. I would. I don't know if I can find somebody to do it that we could train well enough to know what we like and what we don't like. I'm not sure we can do that. Maybe. The big channels do it. All the big channels do. The big channels are getting thousands or tens of thousands of comments a day. There's no way they can do that in-house. They have to subscribe to a service that takes care of those comments for them. A lot of channels told us their hate comments were running like 75%. There are a few channels, the hate comments are running like 90%, 99%. So at 6%, we consider ourselves exceedingly lucky, except for that one video. And in that case, virtually, there were hardly anybody. After the 1 week mark, hardly anybody who commented who even remotely, vaguely understood the concept that was being put forth. So there's no point to waste our time on that crap. There's just no point. For what? They can go get some random paragraph from a book somewhere and paste it in there. Has nothing to do with the video or the point of the video. They just paste in some random crap, and what, we're supposed to read 300 of those a day and cull them? And then the spam factor was getting out of hand also, please contact us for your real estate needs, and YouTube culls out an awful lot of those, but they can't catch them all because these morons are very clever at it. They think that actually is going to bring them business somehow. I don't know how they ever come to that conclusion. I think they're just stupid people. They don't know what to do. They want to grow their stupid little real estate business. They don't know how to do it. And the thought of spamming YouTube videos with idiotic advertisement somehow enters into their tiny, tiny brain, and that's the best thought they have, so they just go do it. That's all I can think of. That's the only reason to be doing that insane crap. Okay, anyway, I don't know that we have anything more to say on this topic of Sir. Most people can't grasp it anyway because they're barely seeing one move ahead on the chessboard. And we see that in Southeast Asia a lot. I know a Filipino very well who's educated in America, spent many, many years in America, and he came back here to the Philippines, and he will tell you flat out, don't even bother trying to have any kind of in-depth philosophical conversation with any Southeast Asian. Don't even bother. Don't even do it. It doesn't matter what degrees they've got. It's going to be a waste of time. And that was one thing that disappointed him profoundly in coming back to Southeast Asia, was that he had no peers here. He had no one to talk to. But make no mistake, America is full of some of the stupidest people in the world also. No shortage of them there. Good old boys from the swamps, My God, some of those people, you wonder, literally, you wonder how they find their way home at night after work in southern Georgia, How do they even get home? They're so damn stupid. So there's plenty of stupid Americans. I've traveled all over Eastern Europe, Eastern Bloc, old Soviet countries, Romania, Ukraine, all those places. I've lived in every Southeast Asian country except Indonesia. I've been around the world 2.5 times. It doesn't mean I'm smart necessarily. It just means that I've seen a lot. Southeast Asia is a wonderful, interesting, exciting, frustrating, maddening place. There you go. Take it or leave it. When I leave the Philippines, and I will, I came here after 10 years in another Southeast Asian country. I came to the Philippines specifically to find a higher class of woman and marry her. That was my goal. I was going to retire in the Philippines, find a nice woman, marry her, settle down, make silly cat videos. It'd be the rest of my life. That was it. I have not found any Filipino woman, Filipina, that I want to be around for more than about 2 weeks. So the marriage thing is off the table for me with a Filipina. I do know guys who have found good ones. You know, I could win the lottery too, but I probably won't. So I don't waste time buying tickets. You know, that's where I stand on that. Filipino government is driving me insane. I'm ready to leave. I got this stupid business thing I have to conclude. It should have been concluded 6 months ago. This was a business thing started in Vietnam. We had to ship a whole bunch of equipment into Vietnam to do this thing that was really going to take a month, but we needed the equipment and the supplies to do it. And the Vietnamese customs stole every single thing we tried to ship in. They either stole it outright or they put a tax on it that was higher than the value of the item. So that stalled the whole thing for 6 months. We got lawyers, we got freight brokers, we tried everything trying to get the stuff into Vietnam, couldn't get it in. We finally hired people to fly back and forth from the U.S. to Saigon. Yes, it's Saigon. I can't ever change that in my mind. We hired people to fly on commercial airlines back and forth, paying extra luggage fees, putting this equipment and supplies and parts in their luggage. It's the only way we got it into Vietnam. And some of it, we still couldn't get it into Vietnam because it was too heavy to go in the suitcases. And so we had to buy the stuff in Vietnam. We couldn't import it. Couldn't import it. So anyway, now we have all that stuff. I think we have almost every single piece we need, and we can complete the project in Vietnam. And then that project has to move to the Philippines. Thank you, Jesus, for hating me on that one. It has to move to the Philippines for probably another 6 months, possibly as much as a year. And then when that thing is concluded, I am done and gone from the Philippines. Done and gone. Now, I do have good friends in the Philippines, good male friends. I have no good female friends in the Philippines. None, zero, nada. I don't expect to. Tired of being scammed or attempted. I never got scammed here, but the attempts were endless. But anyway, I do have some very good Filipino friends here, males. I mentioned to my best friend just the other day that sooner or later I'm going to be leaving the Philippines, and he got watery-eyed and had to turn away. But that's sad. That's sad. I mean, I'm tempted to take that guy with me to a better country. Most of the countries in Southeast Asia are better. Even Cambodia, in my mind, is better. Better. I lived there. It's better. I like Laos more. I like Vietnam. I like less. So of all the countries in Southeast Asia, for me, Philippines is second worst. God, I wish I knew a way to turn that around. I wish I knew a way to turn that around. I don't. I don't know how to change that. And before this video about please don't call me sir, or please stop calling me sir, before that, I still held out hope for finding some angle, some way to start like in the Philippines. And then that flushed it down the toilet. To see so many commenters that were so vicious and insulting and rude and threatening bodily harm, even though they did not begin to comprehend the video, that flushed down the toilet any hope I had of ever liking the Philippines. It's done, it's gone. I just want out. I just want to finish this project and be out. What a waste of a country. The education system in the Philippines needs to include a hell of a lot more than math. It needs to include some philosophy, some international philosophy, not just Filipino philosophy. Philippines is an island. Philippines has had very much less interaction and contact with the outside world than all the other Southeast Asian countries. They have land borders. People cross those land borders easily all the time. They mix things up. They get new ideas all the time. All those countries on the mainland Southeast Asia are introduced and immersed in new ideas continuously. Philippines, no, it's an island. It's hard to get to. So the Philippines lives in a bubble, and they don't understand really anything at all about the rest of the world. They don't understand it. It's almost like a kind of a North Korea where they live in this walled-off bubble and they have no concept of what the rest of the world is doing. They think they are the rest of the world. No, they're not, and the Philippines is not the rest of the world. The Philippines is a little island bubble where I've lived on islands before. They're all the same. So it's time to go. It's time to go where there's a mix of societies and where people understand new ideas and they're willing to grasp them and educate themselves about them and even change their thinking if it is shown to be wrong. Philippines is too far from that. Philippines ain't going to change its thinking ever. 500 years? Maybe. I don't know. Now that I know that there is a core of Filipinos who are some of the nastiest creatures on God's green earth, due to the bashing we took on that one video, now that I know that might be the core of Filipino society, done. They flushed their own toilet. They flushed themselves down the toilet. All of my Filipino family in America, the 320 or the 350 or however many, depending on who's counting on whatever particular day, they are good people. I like them all except one. There's one pedophile in the bunch. And that guy, we can drown him in the horse trough out back as far as I'm concerned. I don't care. He has ruined the lives of 2 of his children. Geez. But anyway, the other, 319 of them are good, solid, intelligent, logical, rational people. And I like them, and that's very much part of the reason I came to the Philippines. I lived in the Philippines for 2 years, over 10 years ago. And I came to this conclusion during that time, and I left it for 10, 11, 12 years, however many, and went around to all the other countries. And then because of that family, that in-law family in America, because of them, 85% of my decision was based on knowing them. And I thought, man, I must have missed something the first time I lived in the Philippines. Because when I left it, I hated it. I had no plans of ever coming back. And then I got to know those people, and I thought, God, okay, I'm stupid. I missed something about the Philippines. There is great value in the Philippines and in the Filipino people. Wow. I got to go back and I got to try it again. I got to I got to find different people or something. And so I did, and I came back. I've been here 2 years again now, so that's 4 years total. Or actually, a little more. Coming up on 4.5 years, I think. Spread more than 10 years apart. What I did not understand was that my in-law family in America, all having come straight from the Philippines, most of them for quite a few years ago, are different than people who are still in the Philippines. I don't know any of them, not one of them, who would ever come back and live in the Philippines, not even in BGC. None of them. And they will tell you that very, very vocally. No way on earth a team of draft horses could not drag them back to the Philippines. Because in the US, in Canada, even the other Western countries, Germany, the Scandinavian countries, which actually are west from here, they say they have found a vastly higher degree of logic and reason and education and higher thinking and philosophy and decency and manners than they ever had, having been born and raised in the Philippines. Yes, people, Filipinos are very polite when they say sir. Yes, that's an extremely polite thing to do. But there is another core of Filipinos, like the ones who bashed us on that video. There's another core of them who are among the ugliest people I've ever come across in my life. Ugly in their souls, to the core. And I did not think those people existed in the Philippines. Up until a week or two ago, I never would have believed that those people existed, except in rare cases, maybe in mental institutions. Maybe you would find 3 of them tucked away somewhere in a barricaded room. I would have bet large sums of money that the people like that, of that low quality, did not exist anywhere in these islands. I did not believe the Philippines was capable of producing people like that. And here we find that it's capable of producing thousands and maybe millions of them. And it begins to click. All my extended family in America, they all told me, go there. You're going to find out. You're going to find out what the people are like. You're going to, brace yourself. And I thought, yeah. You're just saying that, And now, after this episode with that video, now I'm writing to him. I'm telling him, oh, guess what? You were right. I get it. Not a place I can retire. It's not a place I can live. I don't want to be around people like that. Who would? Nobody wants to. Okay, so that's my conclusion. Now, I used to do a lot of alien podcast stuff, and I would sign off everyone and I would say, thank you very much, and good evening, and good night. And then I would look for whatever camera was turned on, because they trick me sometimes. And I'm sure it's that one, because there's a white light on that one, but there's a red light on that one. Hell, I don't know. Thank you very much, and good evening and good night.